In the 1970s, when Romania was still equipped with tanks like the Su-76 and Su-100 tank destroyers, these World War II-era equipment were clearly insufficient for the European battlefield. The country conceived the idea of developing a new generation of tank destroyers, known as the TAA, short for Ton Anti-Tank Autopropulsat, which translates to self-propelled anti-tank gun. The idea of developing the TAA may have started in 1978, with the 111 Research Institute as the research unit. The department obtained relevant patents in 1984. This was a purely tank destroyer project, not a main battle tank. Some of the designs were novel, but the actual production did not take place. The TAA may have been based on the MLI-84 infantry fighting vehicle chassis. The MLI-84 was an improved version of the Soviet BMP-1 infantry fighting vehicle, officially deployed in 1985. It had enhanced power and increased dimensions compared to the BMP-1, with overall better performance. However, using an infantry fighting vehicle chassis also meant that it could not bear too much weight. Analysts estimated that the combat weight would be close to 30 tons, and further increase may not be sustainable. The engine of the TAA was installed in the front right of the vehicle, with no specific model indicated. If it used the same 355 horsepower V8 liquid-cooled diesel engine as the MLI-84, its mobility would not be too strong, so it could possibly be replaced with another model. The gearbox was installed in front of the engine, similar to the Israeli Merkava main battle tank. This front engine and gearbox configuration could provide additional protection for the crew in the rear, but the driver on the left side of the engine did not have this benefit. The suspension system had 6 pairs of torsion bar suspension bogies, with the drive sprocket at the front and the idler at the rear. The TAA had a rotating turret mounted at the rear of the vehicle. The initial design may have included a 100mm gun, later upgraded to a 125mm smoothbore gun. The turret had a very small frontal profile, with the gunner and loader positioned in the center of the vehicle, which compressed the upper structure of the gun. The gunner was on the left side of the gun, and the loader on the right, with the commander in a cylindrical compartment directly behind the turret. The gun was equipped with an auto-loader, and the ammunition was stored on both sides of the rear of the vehicle, with a passage for the crew to enter and exit from the rear. The loader had to manually move the shells onto the auto-loader tray before it could be loaded into the gun. There was a pressure relief vent at the top of the ammunition rack, a very practical design. Designers considered installing a laser rangefinder, but apparently there was no stabilizer. The auxiliary weapon may have been a 12.7mm heavy machine gun mounted above the gun or in a hatch on top of the commander's compartment. The armor protection was unclear, but from internal structural views, the front of the vehicle was the main reinforced area. The front of the turret had improved protection by installing a heavy gun shield, and the armor material was likely conventional steel armor. The rear, sides, and other areas of the TAA had weaker protection, with corresponding reinforcement in key areas such as the ammunition rack. Overall, the armor protection of the TAA was not very strong, and its chassis load capacity was limited. If they truly wanted to create an armored vehicle with strong firepower, protection, and mobility, it would have been a new generation of main battle tank. It is generally believed that the TAA only existed on paper, and it had other names such as TAA-85 and TAA-M 1985. It seems that there may have been some practical achievements in 1985, but there is no evidence of this.